What's going on, internet? What's going on, YouTube? I am the Maskman, Man, YouTube's regular guy. I am the regular guy on YouTube, giving my opinions, giving my thoughts. I am not an expert. I don't, you know, want to stand over people's heads and stand over you and act like I'm superior to you. I'm just regular like you. I'm an ordinary man. I'm just a human. I'm a human. I'm 100% human. That's all I am, is a human. That's the only thing that's in me, is human. I'm a pure blood, 100% black African human. That's what I am. I'm 100% human. There's nothing else in me, not a little, not a drop, not an ounce, not an atom, not a microscopic speck of nothing other than human. Nothing that ain't human is in me. So I just do this. I do this shit to entertain myself. I do this shit to connect with people, to have relationships with people. I do this shit to be real, to keep it real, because I'm the authority when it comes to reality. If somebody says that they're an authority, if they ain't get it from me, then they ain't got it. They full of shit. If I don't validate them, if I don't give them a stamp of approval, then they ain't shit. My OG, the only OG I got, the only OG I got, the only one is Tariq Nasheed. So if you want to know the guy who brought me into the game, who brought me to the dance, who brought me as far as I got here, who was my model of possibility, that's Tariq Nasheed. Go holler at him. Go holler at the one who brought me into the game. That's my OG. That's the only man, woman, child thing that is above my critique, that is above my reproach, that I will never check, that I will never put in, that nigga is above, he's above my criticism. I'll tell him if he want to know, because I always keep it real, but I don't challenge my OG. I only got one, so I don't challenge Tariq. But I'm here today for a viewer question. And I swear to God, man. I swear to the God that y'all believe in. This nigga, the nameless YouTuber, that motherfucker is gonna kill me with these questions. This nigga be asking me some long ass questions. I be like, God damn, who the fuck do you think I am? I'm a regular nigga. Why are you asking me this shit? This shit is hard, man. You can't ask me a little paragraph question. This shit is very difficult. But I say send it to me, and I gotta be a man of my word. If you send it to me, I've gotta answer it. So I got a long ass question. I haven't even read this question yet, but I'm gonna read through it. We're gonna read it together, and I'm going to. I may even no, I'm not gonna post the full question. That's just too much work for me right now. But I'm gonna. I may put the full length question in the description box so you can read it for yourself. But yeah, I'm gonna read the question, and then I'm gonna respond to it. So let's read this shit together. Hey, Mr. Maskman, thank you for your response on the importance of schools, and I understand how you are in support of schools as an educational structure. Let me elaborate why I asked the question so you can view my perspective. Let's break it down. School lectures. When students fall asleep during school lectures, send texts, and play with their phones, mock the teacher, or distract other students, is that because the structure of school lectures is boring or ineffective for these students? Could they learn the same subject more effectively under a different structure, such as an apprentice, team activities, or more hands-on and active learning? School lectures require long periods of sitting, listening, taking notes. Do all students learn this way? And if they tune out, can another system help? I'm gonna just do this brick by brick because this shit is long. I think that you need to have a variety of strategies for teaching children. Sometimes you should be able to get up and walk around, move around. Like, you should be able to see places and do stuff with your hands. Sometimes you should be able to sing. Sometimes you should work as groups. Sometimes the kids should teach themselves. There should be like a question and answer period where you just ask questions. You don't teach anything. That's just a discussion, a conversation. When it comes to learning, you shouldn't just have one technique. You shouldn't just have one way of making sure that people learn. You should have many different techniques and many different strategies, and you work whatever's the best, and you have a system that can intercept and make it interesting for the students. You have to make it interesting at every level. You got to give them every opportunity to succeed and make it very, very hard for them to fail. Because being in school, having discussions, learning should be the most interesting part of their lives, and they should want to do it all day long and do it every time that they see a person. They should be spreading around what they just learned in school. I remember back in the early, now I hated school since I was in kindergarten, but I remember back when I was learning stuff, when I first started school, I was excited about it, and I wanted to run home and tell people about what I learned in school. So I believe that learning is empowering. Learning is something that you learn to love. It's something that you love right away. It's something that they've made hard, that they've made ugly, because they make it dry, they make it drudgery, they make it hard, they don't make it fun. I think it's the responsibility of the educators and of the administrators to make sure that education is informative and entertaining and inviting and captivating, and they can share it with their friends. Yeah, man, I don't believe that, you know, the school lectures is a bad thing. There should be lectures, but it shouldn't just be lectures. It should be lecture, conversation, application, field trip, project building, individual project, choose your own field of study, learn about it, teach the class, do music, do paintings. It should be like that. Bullying. Is this a phenomenon of the school structure, or is bullying lessened by the way a school is administered? Consider the movie Lean on Me. That suggests new administration solves all problems. So when we see school fights on World Star, are we looking at a school administrative problem, or would those kids flourish in a different learning system? I think bullying is just natural. It's a fact that it's a factor of people not knowing how to communicate with each other. So they want to take advantage of the younger, weaker kids. Like I said in an earlier video, the weak are the most hated. And sometimes these kids are being persecuted at home, so they want to lash out in public, or they just don't know how to make friends without being a tough guy, or they just may like hurting people because they don't have an outlet to use it. They should be a wrestler, or they should be a UFC fighter, but they don't have those kind of programs in the schools. So they just pick on people because they're bored, because they got all this physical energy, they got all this physical strength. They like dominating people, they like fighting, and they ain't got nowhere to use it. So I really believe that you have to channel the energy. You have to redirect the energy. I believe that there are always going to be fights, there are always going to be disagreements, but the administration should make it where people talk it out, how they get along, that they let the kids fix it for themselves, that they become friends. I don't think that it has to be some condemning of the kids and making the kids feel bad for bullying. That's a natural part of growing up. I don't think that somebody should be bullied. I think kids should be protected from being bullied. I think kids should be protected from being bullied. I was never bullied. I've always had an intimidating presence. I got bullied a little bit, I guess, in elementary school, but I would fight back. So back in the first elementary school I was in, Southern Hills Elementary School was the elementary school that I went to before I transferred schools, because I got into so many fights. I was in fights almost every other day in the principal's office in the ISS. I was always fighting. I guess they didn't like my personality even back then. I was getting into it with the special ed kids. Now I don't know why they didn't like me. I guess they were too stupid. Uh, um, but I really, I really, I really think that bullying isn't the problem that they make it out to be. That the bullying epidemic is just the outgrowth of the super PC culture that we live in. We live in a politically correct society, so they got to do something about kids teasing and hazing each other. That shit should be put under control. They should be taught how to communicate and not fuck each other over, and they should be given extracurricular activities, and they should, channel their energy. They should do comedy, or they should, like I said, do UFC, or they should box, or they should have something to make a productive use out of all of this aggression, out of all of this energy. The girls who do that, maybe they should be in fashion, or maybe they should be critics, and maybe they should criticize people, because a lot of these bitches are very good at criticizing others, so they should do it professionally. Even when they just young, like 9 or 10, they should learn to be a critic instead of just picking on some defenseless little girl. Okay, let me go on with this. Tailored learning. Do you use chemistry, algebra, trigonometry? Schools often force required learning that a lot of students don't use often through their lives. And schools fail to identify the talents and abilities of individual students and nurture them. Consider the Jackson Five. They didn't go to school. They had tutors and nurtured their talents in music. The Jacksons didn't go to music school or dance school. How many kids learn sports outside of school on the playground to become top athletes? Iverson didn't learn his crossover in gym class. Do you know how many people graduate college with one degree, yet get a career doing something entirely different? There's a okay. Let me go back. I believe that chemistry, algebra, trigonometry, I believe that those are valuable things. I think you should know higher mathematics. I think you should know chemistry, because you should figure school is teaching you how to learn things that you don't understand, how to learn things that maybe you're not even interested in doing, just how to learn it and how to master concepts that are unfamiliar. Everything, even in your chosen profession, you may have to learn a lot of things that you don't like, but you should just know about the process of learning things that you're not interested in. Now, I believe that chemistry and algebra and trigonometry are very interesting subjects. Not something that I could easily master, not something that I know anything about, but I would like to, because I believe that I can use those skills for something. I can use them for something because I want to fix some of the world's greatest problems. And I believe that I'm going to need those core skills to do something about it. So I can't forsake any relevant kind of knowledge. Those are scientific, fields. Science is important. It's important to have a love of science so that you can affect the world around you, to have a scientific understanding of the world, to understand things at a scientific level. It's important. So we shouldn't forsake that and just say, oh, we don't use this and they don't use that. You use what you want to use. It's all about how much ambition you have. That determines what you use and what you don't use. Okay. The Jacksons didn't go to music school. Yes, they did. The musical school was called the Joe Jackson Academy. The dance school was called the Joe Jackson Academy, and they learned how to dance under the tutelage of a nice strap to get them in line. That was the dance academy. They practiced dance moves and dance steps over and over again under penalty of being beat. That's a school. It's an informal school. It's an unofficial school, but it's a school. It taught them how to get out. Do you know how many people graduated in college with one degree yet to get a career? I don't know a lot. There's a YouTube on here who boasts how street smart and hustling taught him more about being a successful businessman than those with a business degree. He gets money while they pay back school loans. Well, I feel good for him. Maybe he can give me some money. Or maybe he can tell me how to make some money. I'm just up here toiling away, doing what I like doing these YouTube videos, answering questions, and this nigga is talking about the streets. I'm so tired of niggas glorifying the streets and making it seem like they was Al Capone in the game. Nigga, you not a gangster. You not a gangster, nigga. I'm a gangster. I take what I want. I made a job. I made a name for myself, and I'm taking it. I'm taking it from the bottom. I'm getting what I want. I'm saying what I want. I'm a gangster, nigga. I'm tired of you niggas with this. I'm a street nigga. I'm a street blah, blah. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Don't nobody care about that shit, nigga. You a sissy. You like bragging too goddamn much. Like bragging all the time. I'm from the streets and I'm real. Alright, bitch nigga. I'm sorry. I'm just venting. I'm just venting my frustration of watching these niggas that think they hard. Nigga, you not hard, nigga. Let's swap lives. How about you let a nigga talk down to you for 26 years? How about you do that shit and see if your head doesn't fucking explode? Your bitch ass would have a heart attack if you had to live my life. You talk about I had to dodge bullets. Well, how about a nigga? How about being scared to walk into a house for a motherfucker talking to you crazy every time you walk through the door? How about that? But maybe that nigga cool. You know, I'm just venting. I'm mad. I like being mad. I no disrespect to the nigga. No disrespect. I'm just trying to make this shit entertaining. No disrespect to the nigga. Society drills in our minds that education means school. And without school, you are uneducated. They say schools teach you how to learn. Does it? Are you confident you know how to learn? I don't think that school teaches you how to learn. I think hold on. What did I say? Yeah, I think schools teach you the methods, the procedures for learning new information. Schools teach you how to learn. They don't teach you how to think. You have to learn how to think on your own because everybody has their own way of thinking. Everybody has their own way of thinking that works for them. But you got to learn how to take a subject and break it down and get the information out of it, whether you like that subject or not, because you may need that subject in order to survive. You may need to learn about it in order to stay alive. So you need to know how to research. Schools teach you how to do research. That's what schools do. They teach you how to do research and present your findings. They teach you how to have a scientific understanding of the world. But most people don't get that. And they think that school, is supposed to present all of this other shit. And they are. But that's the basic thing. That's the basics. Schools teach you how to do research, and they just make it so hard and such a pain in the ass that once people leave schools, they never want to do their due diligence ever again because it was so much of a pain in the ass. But I like to work. I like researchers. So I like people who like to put themselves in school and be a school of themselves. Are you confident you know how to learn? I ain't confident in shit. I ain't confident in shit. I'm not confident I know how to learn. I'm confident I know how to work. I know how to work. I know how to do that. Last point. Schools have been around a long time, but have they worked to shift power to those who attend school? You went to school. Have you been empowered by it? I believe I have to a degree. Schools taught me how to research, taught me how to deal with what I didn't like, taught me how to stand up, regardless of how I felt. Yeah, schools taught me something. Yeah, I feel now, finally, I feel like what I learned in school is working for me now. Without school, I'd have hell to pay if I just would have dropped out in like the 9th grade. Do you think if you had more street smarts, not to promote the streets, but they learn about human nature, apprenticeships, mentoring, tutoring, etc., that you would be more empowered? Thanks. I feel that school smarts in addition to street smarts would done me well. I'm not street. I'm not street. I'm a gangster. I'm a pirate, but I'm not street. So I believe that, I gotta stay in my lane and I gotta do what comes natural. When I say I'm a gangster, that doesn't mean I go around shooting and robbing people. I got a gangster's mentality. What does a gangster do? A gangster get a whole lot of people to work on a problem and break that problem. A gangster doesn't fight fair. A gangster takes what he wants. He doesn't ask for permission. The same with a pirate. Just a pirate does their shits on boats and planes. I'm a gangster. I'm a pirate. I'm the king of the pirates. I'm Monkey D. Maskman. So, fuck with me. I believe I did a good enough job answering the nameless YouTuber's question. Check the nameless YouTuber out nowhere because he doesn't want to give his name. But he's one of my favorite contributors to what I do here, to the channel. I hope he sticks around for a long time and keeps giving me good information to break down, and I appreciate him. As always, that is the end of the video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about my video. Help me get better. Help me improve. I'm not good at this, but I try to do the best I can. I'm not going to stop no matter what you say. Rate the video, like it, dislike it, be honest. Subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with the videos that I'm producing. If you want to send me a question or send me a topic, you can do so by sending me an email to TheMrMaskman@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter and find me on Facebook at TheMrMaskman. So that is all that I have to say about this subject. So I will see you in the next video.